Hello and welcome to this ETETutor video. This is the last in the little collection of videos that walk through the exam paper for Edexcel GCSE English Language students. So it's paper 2, section A that we're looking at, and in this final video we're just looking in at 7B, to be or not to be. So 14 marks, 14 minutes, nice and straightforward. It's not as tough as people think. All you're doing is a comparative essay. You've done loads of things like this in school, so don't panic about it because it's that last one. Just try and keep your timings right so you've got enough time to spend on it. What we're going to do is read out the question and then we're just going to pick it apart, talk about what examiners like me will be looking for. Okay, so compare how the writers of text 1 and text 2 present the ideas and perspectives about intelligence agency work. Support your answer with detailed reference to the text. Okay, so basically by the end of the exam paper, you're expected to do this kind of mashup. So it's all the skills that you've done throughout the paper coming together in one response. You're writing an extended comparative essay. So first thing I'd suggest is a very quick skim read again this time. And what you're going to be looking out for is how the writers present their ideas and perspectives about the question focus. So this time it's the intelligence agency work. So that word how is your sort of red light. It's basically saying, what are the language and structure devices? What techniques is the writer using? So this time you're comparing, so you're looking for similarities and differences, comparisons and contrasts. So slightly different from 7A, where you're only focusing on the similarities. This time you have to do both. And you, as always, have to support your answer with detailed references to the text. So this time, to gain the top marks, so if you're looking to come out with this magical number 9, then you're going to want to make sure that you've got linked paragraphs here and you're putting forward some kind of argument. Some schools have advised not to bother with introductions and conclusions. Some are suggesting that you do. So I suggest you stick to the advice you've been given in school on that, and also to just be adaptable. If something's gone wrong for you and you've lost time, I would say don't worry about that side of it. Just try to get your argument, get your points down. But if your timings all work perfectly, you've had your eye on your watch the whole way through, you should be okay to give a very, very, very brief introduction and to conclude it with a final sentence. Okay, so that aside, what we're wanting you to do is analyse the two texts equally, and the best way is to talk about text 1, then text 2, text 1, then text 2, like that all the way through, rather than writing all about text 1 and then all about text 2 and trying to throw in a few references to how they're alike as you go through. Much better to do text 1 does this, text 2 does this too, here are your quotes, you're welcome. You also need to give those supportive details. So if you're talking about structure, it might be that you want to use details and paraphrasing rather than quotes. You want to cover the whole text. So this time, work through it chronologically, ticking off those points as you go. You need to be using your subject terminology because you're talking about language features. So you might have identified that there was I don't know, what would be a different example? You might have seen that there's a simile in one of the texts. So you've got that figurative language. So there's a comparison being made between two things. And then you might see, There is a comparison in text 2, but this time it's a direct comparison. I've got a metaphor. So if you covered those two things together using that correct subject terminology, recognising that they're alike in one way because they're using figurative language, but how they're actually doing it is different because we've got metaphor and simile, that's a really good way of boosting your answer, and that's the kind of thing that the examiner's going to be able to use to justify their understanding of your understanding, because it's all linking together. So basically you're looking at the big picture. So what are those ideas? So the content, the things that you might have mentioned in the previous question, and then you're also zooming in on particular language like you did in question 3. You want to have at least 3 or 4 similarities, and one of those should be a structural point. And we want quality here, not quantity. An examiner can't sit at home tapping away on their computer and award you marks for a big long list of device spotting. That's not the way it works. We're looking for a bit more detail in the analysis. So in this comparative essay, we're looking for quality, not quantity. Okay, I'll be doing another video where we will have a couple of texts to look at. So please make sure you check those ones out. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so, and then you're not going to miss out on anything related to your GCSE English and English literature. And finally, I just wanted to say thanks again for watching, and thanks for commenting on the videos too. It really does help. Putting out requests really helps as well. So please feel free, use the description box below, get in touch and like and subscribe.